For watertight, efficient watering, just click and go from start to finish. Gardenia's original system that fits perfectly in your garden. Gardenia, live your garden.
Hello and welcome to Garden Time with Serdar ARAPOÞLU. My name's Sue Ghazi and today we're actually at the Mediterranean Garden Centre. Hi Serdar.
Hello, welcome to our garden centre again.
Thank you very much Serdar, and this week's article in the Cyprus Star is about lawns and their maintenance. So what better way to start than to have a look at the lawnmowers?
Yeah, of course, straight away for the subject I think. Yes, what we're saying on the article is always good to use the good quality products for the right jobs. So honestly, to lawn the grass, have to be good quality sharp grass cutter to make the cart very straight and sharp to not to damage the grass, because if you are the damaging the grass, you are inviting the fungus.
That's right, yes. I mean, if you get a good clean cut, that makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Yes. If you get clean cut, which is you're going to come back for the healthy grass. So this is important. Good tools, good machines to start with it, of course. And again, depends of the area, how big area you have. If you have a small area, which is you can use the small grass machines. So middle one and start the large one. And if we're talking about the very large areas, which is you can get the gear one. This is the gear one, also the huge big one as well. Of course, for the very big areas.
And I noticed that some of these products are designed by Gardenia, and of course they're top quality products here, aren't they?
This one from Gardenia is the one of the best. Of course, they are. They are very top models, and you can see the difference when you lawn the grass. These ones, when it's carted for you, you just saying, my goodness, like a carpet. They are that much different than the others, these Gardenias. And these ones from Italy, of course, and the engines the Prince one is good engines, good quality, is light. So if it's the small gardens, which is very comfortably, you can do your job easily. That's the point.
Yeah, and I know that some of the lawnmowers here are they're petrol, some are rechargeable, some are electric. So you've got a different variety as well, haven't you?
Yeah, depends of the garden. You can, when you choose and do your lawnmowers, is again the area and another things. If you are trying to be easygoing, so you can choose the chargeable one, very easy. And of course, later we will see the chargeable one as well. And of course, you can use the electrics, very small gardens, you can use it. And then large areas and more professional areas, you can use the bigger ones.
And I know that some of these lawnmowers are very easy to use and some are very easy to push around, you know, especially for women or, you know, for elderly people maybe. That's quite important, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Because to push them in the big areas, it's difficult. And if you are a lady and you want to do your job easily and you prefer to amateur engines, it's always better to use the chargeable one or electric one. But there is a garden lover ladies I know, which is they use the petrol one and they quite very happy with them. If you tell them, would you like to have the electric? They say, no, thank you. I want petrol one. So there is this kind of the garden lovers as well. So it depends what is good for you and what is the comfortable for you.
And I also know that, of course, it collects the grass, which is valuable as well, isn't it, for the lawn?
It is, yes. So if it's the Australian kikiu grass, have to be more stronger engine for you. And have to be good engine and good sharp blade has. Because like Bermuda, Festuca, other grasses is thin and easy to cut them, easy to look after them, of course. And there is another hardly things about the Australia kikiu. In the meantime, they are getting higher and higher. So to cut that grass is more hardly.
Yeah, it puts a strain on the engine then really, doesn't it?
It is. And of course, the right time, right space time to cut the grass is important as well. So if you leave in your grass to go higher, this means you need to more effort, you need to more stronger as well. So always when you curtain the lower, at least once a week, and even the summer times, every 5 days, you can cut your grass, so not to damage anything for the engine as well.
And I notice on the end here, you've got the aerator as well, haven't you?
Yes, we have aerator here, and of course this one, quite large one. This is I believe this is the biggest aerator machine. It's come for Cyprus, I think. Yeah, it is that much big, yes. It's full professional, it's Husqvarna make, and from Sweden. What is this doing? Especially, we are very right time to talk about this. That's why we do this article as well. The August time is very bad time for the lawn. So August time is the time for all the eggs breaking in and all the worms coming out, of course. And the end of the August, September, all these times, mostly gardens, the lawns has fungus, worms attacks, and very bad situation. So this time, we say in always autumn time, we just doing the aerating for the lawn, and then all the sickness parts, everything clear.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important actually to aerate your lawn, because then you get all the oxygen into the roots of the grass, isn't it?
Yes, it's very important. Also, if there is a moss or other things, it's just straight away taken out. And also, if there is some weeds as well, this machine is taking the weeds out as well.
Does it really? It does that as well?
Yeah, it does as well, because when it's aerating, of course the grass roots is strong, so you can never take the roots out. But for the weeds, is not strong, so they can always take them out. So just the leaving for you the grass, and of course the sickness part is going away as well. So completely clearing without spraying your grass. This machine clearing your grass from the sickness, from the other things as well.
Wow, so that's doing 2 jobs in one really then, isn't it?
Of course, aerating the soil, clean the sickness bit as well. Of course, this one has different blade, which is you can change it, and you can put there this blade here for the cutting the sickness one. This is what his blade here. Of course, there is another blade which is you can put it there and just aerating the soil. So it's mix the soil and it's give the air for soil to make the soil get air and be healthy.
Well, that's a good idea actually to have these interchangeable blades, isn't it? You know, so that you can do, whichever job you need to be doing with one machine.
One machine and different jobs you can do with the different blades, of course. And after all this carting and everything, especially when you're doing the aerating and carting very deeply, what you need to do, we have to move this part, which is the chemical parts. So what we need to do, we have to use the right chemicals, especially still, maybe you can get the sickness part out, fungus and everything, but if there is some eggs there, butterflies eggs, or if there is still some worms, soil worms there, we have to use the very right chemicals, which is, we have something different here. This one and this one, these two, is right chemical to break the eggs as well, and it's very quality chemicals. You can spray it only once a month, and always you can keep your lawn very clearly.
Well, that's very useful actually, because if you can use this, you can actually prevent the eggs from hatching, can't you? So that's saving quite a lot of time and a lot of expense later.
Exactly, exactly. So also what you can do, these chemicals, you can mix with them for the fungus one as well. So if you can mix the fungus and the worm chemicals and also vitamin together, so 3 at once, you can do it one job. And what you need to do after you cut in your grass very deeply and all this, you spray it, and after you spray it, you don't do anything. You just leave it at least few days until everything is get away, then water it.
Yeah, no, it's important not to actually water it, isn't it, after you've sprayed it?
It is important, because if you water it after sprayed, you just taking away all the chemicals and all the vitamins very quickly. So you don't give the chance that chemicals to work there.
And I know actually that you have to have a license, haven't you, for these particular chemicals? And I know that Mediterranean Garden Centre has, quite a lot of different chemicals here.
Our license is here. Yes, is already there. We have license, and of course, Makbule is the horticulture special engineer. She is. So that's why we have this license, and we are trying to give the right chemicals for the right things. Of course, for the vegetables, for the fruit trees, for the lawn and everything. But doesn't matter, even if you sell the hobby gardens or even if you sell the chemicals for the vegetables or fruit trees, still you have to have the license to have all this. And you have to have, especially like glass furniture, to put everything there to not to get any smell or anything for the chemicals to affect anyone. So this is the very right way to do this way, to sell the chemicals for very right licensed way as well.
I think that's quite important as well, isn't it?
It is, yes. And the last things I'm going to talk lately in this time, of course, Nuxt pallets. At the moment, they are everywhere.
Yeah, we've had some rain, so the slugs and the snails are all out now, aren't they?
They are everywhere at the moment. But when you put the slug pallets, if you have a lawn, you don't have to put it on the lawn because you cannot find them there. So what they do, always slugs, they just go around the flower beds, so you can put the pallets up there. So they can take it from there. So if you notice, night times they start to come in the lawns. They do, yeah. So it's not a good idea to put this on the lawn because when is the water as well. Actually, these one very special ones. They okay for the rain as well. They don't just go away with the rain. But still, it's not a good idea to put the snug pallets in the middle of the grass. Yeah. So always use the flower beds, the plants, bushes, other things. Yeah.
And it's useful to know as well that you can use these in wet weather as well, because some slug pellets, they just disintegrate and go to powder, don't they?
This one, company called Flortis from Italy, and they are very high quality and exactly what you said. Yes. So after all this, of course, we're just going to move the garden now and show this aerating and spraying up there. So let's meet in the garden then.
Yeah, look forward to that.
Thank you.
Well, Serdar, I know that this is the very exciting part of the programme where we're going to see you testing the soil, and it hasn't been seen on Cyprus television before, has it, this equipment?
Yes. So what we're going to do, we're going to find out pH and the salt, of course. And from that way, we can find out the magnesium, calcium, iron, potassium, and how much is on the soil. Is it the acidic soil or is it the too much salty soil and everything? So it has these numbers here, this machine, and shows you. If it's the 0 until 10, this means this soil is no good at all. So if it's between 2 and 5, this means this soil is completely acidic soil, so which is you have to plant there acidic plants, and of course grass for the acidity as well. So if it's between the 5 and 8, this means this is normal soil. So this means has magnesium and the calcium normal. So this is important. And if it's too high from then 6 and everything, this means iron is very high. So we have sterilized water here. So we have to make the soil wet to understand. So this is just normal, pure, natural soil water. So we're just gonna drop it here now to make it to take down. So we just put this on. So wait a little bit. So it's come between 5 and 8. So this is 6. So this means this soil has enough calcium and magnesium. This is just enough soil, normal soil, so you can plant here without acidity or nothing. So this means the plants and the grass will okay here. Yeah. So that's what it means. So if it was this down, this means you are going to need the plant here like okay for the salty soil. So this means this soil is okay.
Yeah, and that's it's very useful to know, isn't it, Serdar? Because
to know this, yes, it's good to know this. At least you know what you're dealing and what is exactly there. Exactly. So, of course, when we are doing this lawn, we just bring here good soil and quality soil, and we can always next programs we can just find the different soils and we can just measure them and shows there exactly which one is the bad one, which one is the of course red, black and different soil, and we can find out exactly what it is. But what we can see here today, this soil is good.
Yeah, and I'm surprised actually. I mean, it only took a few seconds, didn't it?
Yeah, it is, but with just the right tools always we are saying to use it, of course. And there is also different kind of things you can mix up and find out the more material, what kind of the material inside as well. There is a book here, production is explained to you everything, what you need to do and everything. That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's so important actually, because you could just go along and buy several different plants and then you'll be disappointed, you know, if it's acidic soil or whatever and you've planted the wrong plants. It's a shame, isn't it?
It is shame, yes, it is shame. So let's find out if there is some sickness for the lawn as well. So we move this back and we have, of course, these ones. You have one as well. Okay. So always what we're doing, we open the lawn and first things what we see here.
Snails.
Okay, we talk about it. We talk about it on the shop. What a straight away we find them. Look,
a lot of small ones, aren't they?
Yeah, these ones is very bad ones, of course, and they are everywhere at the moment. So this means we need some pallets here to stop the snails, of course. And under there, this lawn before has very big trouble. So this is just new. We started to come back and everything, but still, what we didn't do here yet, we didn't aerating. So still you can see under it fungus ones.
Oh yeah.
All this under there is the fungus one. So until they bring this lawn normal and they make it very healthy, have to this aerating. So we wait until now the weather come down and cooler. So now time is to do aerating as well. Doesn't matter how good this lawn is looking. This means if we don't do the right jobs in the future time, we will have very big problems.
Yeah. I mean, on the face of it, the grass looks absolutely perfect, doesn't it? But like you say, you know, underneath you can see that, you know, it does need aerating.
Still you can see there's a patches is missing. Yeah. So this means still this dead grass is not letting the fresh ones to cover everywhere. Yeah. So this is what it is. So now we're gonna look if there is something else in there as well. So yes, now what we're seeing is an X, worm X, there is there. So what we need to do, we mentioned on the shop as well, we need to use the chemical, to break the X. So this is what it is. Of course, at the moment there is no worms, as you can see, there is no bugs or anything, just the X and slug, of course. They're everywhere at the moment. So if you know what's the problem is there, then you can just do the right things.
Now that's very interesting actually, Serdar, because I mean normally looking at the grass you'd think that there wasn't any problems, but of course now that you've analysed it and you've looked at it, you can actually see that there are problems and it might cause problems in the future.
Yes, in the future time it's cause you trouble, of course. And then you can see now when you look this grass, you can see is look green and everything, but on the top I can see the yellows coming. So this means you're going to need, as you can see here, this is yellows on the way is coming. This means little bit later time you will need the iron vitamin, which is these ones, as it shows here. When it's the yellow, you can just use this granule vitamin to make the other areas greener.
Yeah. So you just spread it out on the top of the grass then, would you? Or?
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Okay. we open it, and now we're going to show all garden lovers, this is what we need to do. That's all about. So you can just like this.
So you will see results that the yellowness will actually, turn it back green.
Yes, this is what it is. We call it magic powder, and it straight away bring the color. And this one here, it shows there if there is some parts, just missing areas, you just use this granule, and you can make the grass to walk there.
Oh, I see. You can make it spread. It'll spread out then. Yeah.
Spread out and cover that areas to completely missing areas. Straight away is filling up.
Yeah, well, they certainly are magic products, aren't they?
And this one, if there is mesticos, like it's getting greener and it's not too wet, and always you want to dry it, you just put this powder and it's just taking it away.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Let's find out the more bad areas, and then we will do a little bit aerating then.
Right. And we can see actually in this area of the garden, Serdar, that it has dried up, and the grass isn't in as good condition, is it?
No, because the reason, if you notice, is just the inside, whereas the trees is more, and this means the sun is less here. Yeah. So these ones, because it's the sun always there, and they very quickly is dry, and the fungus is go away. And the sun is helping the aerating as well. But these areas, look, and still you can see all the fungus one is everything there. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how much you spray this and how much you rake it or anything, it's not going to help. So what we need to do, we need to aerating and take it all these bad ones away. So which is we're going to show now to how we're going to aerating. So that's what's happening. You can see is mixing the soil and it's taking all the bad ones away, and it's cutting it very short.
And it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, it just does it so quickly, and you're left with the roots of the grass here. So that's perfect, isn't it?
That's what it is. That's what we're talking about. Straight away, it's taking it away, and of course, by the way, you just see the sunworms here again. You can see it is moving. And if you notice, it's taking the slugs as well. Yeah, it's taking everything. It's taking everything, all the snakes parts and everything. Just clearly, with this way, straight away, this grass can dry and take the air and come back very freshly.
Yeah, and you will see quite a difference fairly soon, I think.
Yes, it's take 15 days to come back, and the 3 weeks times completely is coming back normal period.
That's great, isn't it? Because I mean, you could spend such a lot of time, trying to rake all the, the old grass out and the fungus, etc. But this machine will do it so quickly for you.
Yeah, you can cut the grass very shortly. This is another way, but still, how much you trying to, and as much chemical, as much vitamin you using, you will end up to doing this, because as long as this sickness is there is no way you can take it straight away outside. So you cannot kill it, dry it until the end. This is the right job to do it.
Yeah. And it's all about having the right equipment and the right tools, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
I noticed, Serdar, that you've had some problems with these trees here, haven't you? There are some little pests in there.
This one is lemon conifers, and of course they are very nice trees, they are very nice conifers, but until they settle down, and after settle down as well, because they have problems from the beginning as well, they don't like winds, sometimes it's not okay for this weather, but when they settle down they are perfect. So this one here has been settled down very nicely, but they have some mealybugs problems. So this white stuff one, yes, in there, you can see them of very little. It was more than that, and we've been spraying and we're taking it away. So this is what we need to do, just to look and find the right thickness there, and just to dry it away. Normally, there's two problems with them: mealybugs and the fungus. So this one hasn't got fungus; they have only mealybugs, and also there is another things here. Sometimes the leaves is breaking down like this. This means there is a worms problem as well. So what we need to do again, just to spray it. So this is what we're going to do again, just going to spray it and show our watchers and the garden lovers what they need to do. So we can mix here worms chemicals, fungus, and the mealybugs chemicals together, three, and just to spray it. Of course, this time of the year is very nice weather now. It's not too hot, so it's very right time to spray it. So let's do it.
Okay. So now we're going to begin spraying, aren't we, Serdar?
Yes, we're going to spray with the machine, of course. With this way, you can spray it like a rain. So let's go. Okay, so we always talk about the chargeable lawnmower. We show it on the garden center as well, but first time we're going to show it here. So you're going to try it as well, I'm going to try as well. Let's start first.
Okay. And you can actually adjust the height of this as well.
Yeah, you can adjust the height as much you want. It's here. You can either take it. So we put it number 3.
Okay.
Number 3 is okay. We just... So no cable, just I'm going to give it to you to try, I think.
Okay.
All you need to do, just to press here, hold this, okay, and press this, and it's gonna start to come to work now. You can go.
Actually, it's very easy.
And it suits the ladies very well. What do you think?
It's very easy, isn't it? It's not heavy at all.
No heavy, and it's very comfortable to use it.
Yeah, that was very easy actually, not heavy at all.
Yes, I think this is the machine for the lawn, just easy to cut, and you don't have any cable problems, no petrol, no nothing. Yeah. So again, right tools.
Yeah, I think it's very a good idea actually, because you're not worried about keeping the hold of the cable. You're not worried that you're going to go over it. No petrol fumes. Perfect.
And good carting.
Yeah, exactly. Not too bad at all.
Yes.
Well, I think that rounds up this week's programme, Serdar. Thank you for taking us to show us all the lawn problems and how to deal with them and how to mow the grass perfectly.
Yes, I think it's been different, and I believe it's been very useful. It's always we say in the garden, just in the garden you can explain everything. So this is again, it's been garden time special today. So I hope it's been very useful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, and enjoy your week gardening. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Each lawn is different. Therefore, we have the right solution for any demand. From the powerful lawnmower with lithium-ion battery, to accurate grass shears that suit the hand perfectly, through to useful accessories. All our products are perfectly thought out and particularly easy to use to make sure that your lawn is always the most beautiful. Gardena.